Hopefully, those on the East Coast were able to grab some lunch, and anyone that still a little early for them, grab a snack. So today we got Ali, VP of Revenue Operations from Health Catalyst, who is going to be presenting on a topic near and dear to my heart, which is a campaign is more than email. So Ali, I'll let you take it away.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So, my name's Rastiello. I'm the VP of Revenue Operations for a company called Health Catalyst. We are a data analytics platform and service provider for hospitals. Really exciting. I love being in the healthcare industry because have everybody has personal connections. I feel to healthcare. My interesting fun fact is that I love concerts and I've been to 185 plus that I can remember. I did a little spreadsheet to try to figure it out one day in my life, and they range from Kenny Rogers to Napalm Death, which is a very fun punk band that my husband loves. So I just love music and everything about it.
You live in Raleigh
Um,
for that.
oh no, go ahead.
You're in Austin, right? So that is the perfect venue for being able
Mhm.
to see music all the time.
Yeah, my husband is forever going to shows. He goes to way more than I do. There are just times when I'm like, no, you know what? That sounds like a show that you should go to by yourself. And he just takes his little Uber down there. Um, and then I have a girls' night, which is great. Um, so, topic at hand here, so many emails. And I feel like everyone knows that their email inbox is bombarded 24/7. Now, personally, I'm a B2B marketer. So, I get lots of sales emails coming to me as well. But I also, in my personal life, I've got so many just, I like to online shop. So I get lots of shopping emails and things like that. And I filter a lot of that out. So, really, what I want to talk about is how do we go beyond the emails? How do we make the most impact with the messages that we're trying to get through to our audience, right? And what I see is that we send a ton of marketing emails and they don't necessarily move the needle. Most of that, and I have a lot of theories on why, which are data based and also just like gut check, right? It's still the most direct channel that we have aside from text messaging, but that's still fairly new in terms of B2B. Um, it's the most direct channel, but it's also the noisiest. It's where you get all of your work information from. It's a lot of you know just everyone's trying to get into the inbox all at once, and breaking through that and really getting to a subject line that's going to make a difference is really important. Messages are not consistent or a part of a larger theme. Marketing is about volume and about getting in front of that audience in the best way possible as many times as you can in different avenues, because you don't really know which one is going to resonate with them the most. So if you're only using one channel, or you're not coordinating that channel with other channels and other messages out there, it's kind of becomes a blur and not really what's going to break through. We also fail to tailor them to the audience. So I'm a rev ops leader now. I've been a demand marketing leader. I've been a marketing ops leader. I am now rev ops. So I'm getting hit with marketing technology, with sales technology. But what I care about is what's the ROI on it? Is it something that I already have in my stack or is it brand new? I care about very specific things. Whereas if you're maybe messaging to somebody that works for me, they may care about just making their life and work easier. They don't own the budget. They don't have C levels to report to make sure that we're being fiscally responsible and things like that. So tailoring that to that audience so that everyone who might be involved in that purchase understands what you're trying to sell and what the pain point you're solving for is really important. But I think the fourth reason here is really why email tends to not move the needle. It's because it's what we fall back on when there is maybe not a plan in place that's really clear. Maybe the strategy is evolving, so you don't have a really clear marketing plan, um, you know, that you can adhere to, a lot of times it's like, we'll just send some emails to like bide some time while we continue to evolve what we're doing. Or maybe, as we all have on our teams, maybe there's someone that just doesn't quite get it yet. And the first thing they're just like, is we can just send a bunch of emails. It's what we fall back on, and it shows a lot of time in that execution. So, in my opinion, the only way to really break through that is to initiate integrated campaigns. Integrated campaigns are what creates that volume in the market. It's coordinated across all of the channels because it does take multiple marketing touches to break through that noise and get the attention of the buyer. That, I personally, I'm on LinkedIn a lot. So I look towards what my peers are talking about, new things that my peers may be introducing, or how they're thinking about it, new technologies or new marketing or sales approaches. So I'm constantly on LinkedIn. So, like, a really good channel to get in front of me is doing things on LinkedIn, whether it's promoted content or organic social, or even like inboxing me. That's a really good way to get in front of, get my attention. Whereas somebody else may not ever go on LinkedIn. Maybe they are on Twitter a lot. You don't know. Maybe they are an email junkie and they do read every single email that comes through. Maybe they resonate more with video more than like reading some piece of content. So, really understanding how to connect to them, what they care about, and telling that story, um, of connecting to the pain points that they care about are super important in the content journey. When you create something that is meaningful to me and is going to solve something for me, that's when you're going to get my attention as a buyer. And I think that's when you're going to get anyone's attention as a buyer, right? You're talking to them as though you know the intimate secrets of what keeps them up at night. And that's really how you get in front of the, break through that noise also. But then you need to tailor that message based on what we care about, or what the buyer cares about, and what stage of the funnel it is. You can't just keep giving them like awareness content about maybe what your brand is when they are ready to get deeper about what the products offer, or what they might be solving for, or any of those things. So, one, make sure you've got multiple touches. Two, make sure your story connects to the pain points and the make some emotional connection to what they need. And then three, make sure you're tailoring it to that person specifically, or that persona. And the way that I kind of think about it is I start with a foundation for an integrated campaign. One, you have to deeply understand that product. You really need to be able to articulate the value prop and deeply understand what it's solving for and how it's going to help that buyer. I get a lot of things that are just like, you want more leads. Well, no, I don't want more leads. I want more people to convert and really be able to engage with us in a meaningful way. I don't just want more leads. So if you're just sending me, emails about getting more leads, that's not really compelling. It's tell me how I'm going to help my sellers really, connect um, with their buyers, and then how can I track that easier so that we get the insights we need from it. There's things that I care about, as a RevOps leader that are really most important when I'm going through that buying cycle. Knowing your buyers, create personas for each person in your buying unit. Everybody cares about different things when you talk about all of the people that go into making a decision about buying a piece of technology. If it's a technology buy, if it's something that's maybe services related, or anything in the B2B realm, you're going to have multiple people that need to weigh in. There's usually the person who is the user of the product or the technology, the service, whatever, that end user person. It's more of like an influencer. They're the person that's just like, this is going to make my life easy. I need this. And then there's the decision maker who actually owns the budget and has to figure out what the trade-offs are in order to maybe buy a new technology, or product or service or whatever it may be. And then sometimes you have executive buyers that are in it. So sometimes, the C-level, if you are reporting into a C-level, needs to make a critical decision about it, depending on the cost level of what you're trying to purchase. So there's a lot of people that are involved, and sometimes even finance gets involved, especially when it's, enterprise level software or something that is really more really expensive for the company to purchase. Finance needs to get involved and understand like what the true ROI is on it. So there's all kinds of people that are involved in that decision-making process, and you need to create content that is tailor-made for all of them, and that meets them where they are, meaning where do they consume content and in what stage of the buying cycle are they in? Are they really close to needing to talk to sales? They've really done a lot of research and you can see that through your tracking. Or are they like brand new and they're just starting their journey with you? Really understanding where they are, tailoring that content to what they care about, and where they are in the journey is so important. Those foundations will help you then decide what channels to use, because you'll understand where they go for their information. It'll help you understand what to accentuate in the content based on the stage they're in, meaning what do they care about? Are they concerned with the cost of it, or are they concerned with the functionality? Are they concerned with what it's going to solve for? Where in that funnel of decision making are they? And then it's going to help you with an execution layer of creating something interesting and maybe fun, or just creative in a way that it's going to get in front of them. This foundation opens all those doors up for you because you deeply understand who you're talking to and the product and how it solves it for them. My key takeaway here: people have short attention spans and they're bombarded constantly with messages, not just email, but in every way, shape, or form, in social media, regular media. I mean, there's like 10 million streaming options now for TV. It is getting harder and harder to really break through that noise, but successful campaigns, they do it by getting tailored information to the buyer. They center it around pain points and what the buyer is really trying to solve for. They use all of the channels available to them and all of the different content formats available to them so that it will hit that buyer where they care the most, or where they go get their content from the most. And they continue for a long period of time. These are not usually just a short blip, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Usually it takes a good year to really create the volume you need and the repetitiveness that you need to get in front of those buyers. So really thinking about the long-term staying power of the campaign is important. So like, try not to do something that's too point in time specific, but keeping it relevant to like what's going on in the industry that you're speaking to, or in the world as it is. Keeping things relevant. I mean, the pandemic was like a really interesting one when we had to make like a hard pivot at one of the companies I was at, on how we were talking. We were an HR technology company, and taking that pivot and really like figuring out how do we address all the things that HR leaders are going through right now with the pandemic versus the messaging we had previously. So really taking into account all of the things going on around you and making that relevant and giving it some staying power.
Awesome.
Any questions?
I know it's a lot to cram in a short period of time. We're actually at time there. If anyone wants to connect with Allie, on LinkedIn. It sounds like LinkedIn is her preferred medium. So if you need to target her, LinkedIn is the place to be. And we appreciate it. And we'll be back on in a few minutes with Aparna. Thanks, Allie.
Thank you.